Hey, Mike here. Welcome back to the Northport Speedway channel. Today, as promised, I will be modifying my Ford Mustang GT. But before we do that, let's get a weigh-in and find out what it weighs before and after. It looks like she weighs 4.2 ounces before the modification. Let's see what she looks like on the turntable. Great colors, very crisp, very good looking car. So let's get started with the rebuild. Okay, let's point out what we need for this rebuild. A pair of pinch nose pliers, Phillips screwdriver, a curved pick, a flat screwdriver, some oil and grease, make sure it's plastic safe, and of course the toothpick for the grease. Okay, we will be putting in high performance magnets, the high performance motor, which spins at 23,500 RPMs, the new guide, and some great silicone tires. Okay, let's get started. First, we will remove the spoiler so it does not get damaged. And then with the Phillips screwdriver, we will start removing the bottom screws that hold the body to the chassis. I always work with a soft plush towel, so if the screw should fall out of our hands, it falls onto the towel and does not go any further. Now that all four screws are removed, carefully remove the body from the chassis and just put it on the side so that doesn't get any damage to it or scratched. Okay, this is where the rear magnet is located, right under the retainer clip, right under the pinion gear. And then the center magnet is held in by a screw right behind the motor, holding a retainer clip, which holds the center magnet in place. Sometimes the center magnet will be located under the circuit board, which will have to be removed to get at the magnet, but it's only a screw. Now we will remove the wiring to the motor that we're going to replace. With the flat-bladed screwdriver, put it on the back, under the back part of the motor and lift up and just pull it out. Easy as that, the motor is out. Now the next thing would be to remove the rear axle. It pops out easy. Just put a little pressure under the wheel and pry up. And then we'll put that to the side for later when we put the new tires on. Now with the curved pick, you might have to do it a couple of times. We have to remove the retaining clip. On top of the retaining clip is a little groove. You put the pick in and just pull it apart, and she should pop right out. It might take a couple of tries. There you go. That's the retaining clip. It's plastic, so you have to be careful. And now we'll just take the magnet out. Just let it connect to the pick, and she should come right out. Here we go. Now the magnet has a top plate. We're going to separate the plate from the magnet. The magnet is the thicker one. The plate we're going to need, so hold on to it. Now we'll take our new magnets, which they're a gold color, and we have to separate them because you have the front and the back. They're pretty strong magnets, so you got to break them apart. Put the longer one to the side. That's going to be in the center, and the short one is for the back. Now that plate that we removed before, put it back on top of the magnet. Just like that. Get it nice and even. It's a little hard because the magnets are strong. And with the magnet facing down, put it back in the magnet holder. Once it's locked in, we put the retaining clip back in. Put one in first, and then lock it down. Take your flathead screwdriver, push it down until you hear a click. And your magnets are in place at the rear. We'll check later on to make sure everything is tight. Now it's time to remove the center magnet. Move the wires out of the way so you can see the screw. There it is. It holds the retainer clip in. That's what it looks like. Put that to the side because we're going to need that in a little bit. And just pop out the magnets. Now again, the magnet has a top and a bottom plate. Remove the plate, put it to the side, and get rid of the magnet. Now we take the new magnet, put the plate back on top, make sure it's nice and flush. Like so. And put it back into the magnet holder. Push it in with the screwdriver a little bit. And then I usually put the screwdriver underneath so it holds the magnet. There you go. Then we'll get the screw and the retaining clip in place and tighten it back down. Remember, When the screw bottoms out, a little more and stop. It's only plastic and you can crack it. Both magnets are in place, back and center. And let's just make sure that everything is tight. We're going to go back to the back one again and make sure it's in place. And that's what it looks like. Both magnets are now in place. Time to put the new motor in. Wires are always facing up. Do it in reverse. Slide the motor in first, all the way, and push down. That's it. Motor's locked in. Simple as that. Now we got to connect any wire that might be disconnected. Reconnecting the motor. And we have to replace the front light bulb wire that popped out. No big deal. It slides right back in. And then we're going to neatly tuck the wires away so that we don't have a problem with the body pinching them when we put the body back on the car. So now you have your your rear and center magnets and the new motor in place. Now it's time to put the new tires on. These tires come from Super Tire. The young lady, Pam, she sold them to me. She's a great lady. She knows her stuff. She even marked all the individual bags on what car the tires belong to. And they are really great tires. These tires are so sticky, it's hard to get them out of the bag. Now we make sure the flat side of the tire in the back faces the gear, and the curved side of the rim of the tire is facing the outward part of the rim. What I like about these tires, you don't have to glue them. They're really tight when they go on. And you got to massage them a little bit, make sure they go in, everything is nice and flat, and the tires are placed right on the rim. Tire 2, curved side facing outward, the flat side facing towards the gear. Very sticky tires, everything sticks to them. Very nice fit. Tires are installed. We line the bearings back up with the chassis and just snap the wheels back in. Done. new high-powered magnets, high-performance motor, and silicone tires. Now before we close shop, let's lubricate the car. Put a dot of oil right behind the gear on the motor bearing in the back and in the motor bearing in the front. Let's do the axle bearings. Front and rear, work it in a little bit. Always make sure, I keep saying, that the oil and grease you use is plastic safe. Take your toothpick, just a little bit of grease, that's all you need. Too much makes a mess. That's it. And just work it into the pinion gear a little bit at a time. Now it's time to put the body back on. But give it a good look over first to make sure all your wires are not being pinched or ground down by the rear axle. Put your 4 screws back, and remember, once they bottom out, a little more and stop. And you're all done. That's how powerful these magnets are. Back and center. Job well done. Okay, one more thing. We're going to replace the guide. Take your pinch nose pliers, grab the guide at the top, and just pull out. And then we're going to replace it with the new one, which is a little bit longer, a little bit thicker. But what I normally do when I put these new guides on, I take a little file and I just file the squareness off a little bit, just a little on both sides of the guide. Not to round it, but just to get the edge off. It gets rid of that clickety-clack when you're running the car around. Get the spoiler back on. Okay, let's go back a little and see what we did. We replaced the bolt magnets, rear and center. We replaced the motor, the new guide, and some nice silicone tires. Now it's time to reweigh the car and see if it made a difference. The before weight was 4.2 ounces. Let's see what it reads now. Wow, 4.3 ounces. It only gained 0.1 ounce. In my next video, I will be testing out the car on the track to see how she does. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and please hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much and happy racing.